This is the heart of it. This is the most important plant place on the entire property. This is the plant propagation area. It's like a nursery, or in Spanish, a vivero. Let's do a quick look around to see what kind of plants are here. We're not going to make an exhaustive list because then we'd be exhausted. So these are some scarlet runner beans growing. Those are new here. We've got a little roof here and a table with a bunch of baby greens in there. Those are going to get given away, some of them, and planted out when the rains come. Over here we've got more tomatoes. We've got figs. Those are all from cuttings, or they were recent ones that were a gift, and they're different kind of figs than anyone else around here has. We've got amaranth over there. We've got, looks like a grape. That's fantastic. We've got some trees in here of avocados, of citrus, like, you know, mandarins and oranges and grapefruits. Those are mostly from seeds, so we'll see how they turn out. We got lots more stuff down there. I think we've got another jicama that's growing really fast. It's a vine on top. We've got some cool plants that I forgot the name of, but they're really exotic looking. And we've got nut trees. That excites me greatly. We'll talk more about those. We've got Nisboro, which is loquat. We've got palms growing in buckets, palm trees. There's various kinds of palms in the world, and some of them can handle this climate. It's a little chilly, but we'll see how they do. I think around here I've even got coconuts in a bucket to see if I can germinate some coconuts. We've got medicinal banana that's not your normal Cavendish banana over there, and cuttings of just so many other things. I got a spreadsheet of all the stuff I'm doing here because it gets complicated. What's different about this place? Well, the usual rule is you don't water plants. We're trying to do food forest gardening with plants out in the forest that don't get any love at all, but they give us a little love back. So no watering, no fertilizer, that kind of stuff. But, you know, these are baby plants. And if we just put them out when they're really young, they'll just die. Something will eat them, they'll get forgotten, they don't have enough water, and they dry up in the dry season. All kinds of problems. So some things like nut trees, we grow those for 4 or 5 years. This is a 4 or 5 year old tree, and it's going to take a very long time to mature. This is such a big investment that we're willing to water them, we're willing to put them in buckets with better dirt, and we're willing to keep an eye on them and protect them. So it's a very special space in that regard. We also do quite a few plant experiments to see if some things can live at all here, if we brought them in from somewhere else. We also take native plants that are just out in the forest, and we see if we can reproduce those in a better way so that we can turn those into a garden plant. Because there are like medicinal herbs and things that are native here, and if we just go harvest them, then there won't be any left. So before we start harvesting it, we want to figure out how we can put it in a spot where we can kind of encourage it and give it a little extra resources so it can produce as much as we want as humans. This is also a lot of work. Some people who are new to gardening think that you get free food out of it. No, you don't. Now, if you're one of the rare people who loves gardening, and for you it's a hobby and it's enjoyable, then yeah, you're taking your hobby and you're turning it into something valuable. But a lot of gardening is actually hard work, moving dirt, prepping things up, checking on things, and you know, it's less work than animals might be in many cases. Like if you were raising chickens or rabbits, you have to pay a little more attention to them. You know, I can ignore this nut tree for a while, and I have done that at times, and I've even lost some trees because of neglect. But that's how we do things here, and most things live. So that's been encouraging. This year is exciting because we're a little more focused on things earlier than normal. So I have big plans for success. A lot of these citrus, for example, these guys, these are ready to go out into the forest. Now, I'm not going to put them just out in some random place in a forest because I've got a spot down here I'm developing as kind of like a food forest park that has human use and has things that people really like to eat. And so I'm going to put them kind of close in where if I want to, if they look sad, I can water them and I can just keep an eye on them. And we've got a lot this year. that are ready to leave here, and then we've got a lot more things that we're going to plant. We have seeds that need to go in buckets. A lot of things need to be divided. We grow orchids here. We grow the native orchids, and there's another orchid that's from outside. Those need to be divided up, and the native ones can be put out in oak trees. So part of this is about restoring the natural biosystems that would have been here had this been an older forest. This is actually a recovering forest because it was clear cut some 40 or 50 years ago or something. I wasn't there. But, so yeah, that's an exciting spot. And we're expecting a lot more things to come out of here in not much time at all.